Monica joining up on stage, and allow me to please call upon the panelists who will be joining up on stage just about now. Starting off with, we have Padma Shri Chef Sanjeev Kapoor. If you could please join us up on stage, sir. Let's have a huge round of applause for him. Come on. Take one now. Hello, sir. How are you? Up next, we have Maura Regan, Executive Vice President, Lima. Let's hear it for her. Come on. Thank you so much. Joining her up on stage now, we have Mr. Nihar Lakhia, the Joint Director of Federation of Indian Export Organization. You know, this is very unfair. Let's clap for everybody, guys. We need to have the energy back. And may I please welcome up on stage Miss Usha Lakshman.
Always good to know much more than what you have known all these years. So things like this give me an opportunity to learn so much more. When I started working in our field, I was doing things, I was just cooking, and there was an environment which knew me, which was so back in 1992, much before I started TV show, I got the award for Best Executive Chef of the country. So our community knew me, and over a period of time, I began to realize that there are more people who would want to eat what I cook. But since I would work in a hotel, that was not possible. And thankfully then TV started, the reach started to become big, and I realized that mediums of mass reach can create a desire, can create an aspiration for people to consume what you have to offer, and that starts for someone like me, let's say a chef, starts from the core area of expertise, which is food, and food in an environment which is limiting, let's say one restaurant. So how do you go on from one thing to the other? And over a period of time, with the internet coming in, and for 1996, 97, when I launched our website, I realized that now we were reaching more people. TV show was going to about 150 countries. Internet was taking us to all across the world. And everywhere I would go, and people would say, "Oh, you have become a brand in yourself." And I would say, "No, I'm just a chef. That's what I am," and I continue to believe that. That's my core area of expertise. So I realized that for anyone to monetize the expertise that you have, I think that should be at the core. It's the brand. In our case, I believe that we realized that the initial expertise was cooking. Over a period of time, we realized that there were other values that we were building, and then we realized that to that core area, which was our cooking expertise, we started to build the values, and because of that, the trust started to grow. And I think today, more than anything else, whatever we do, we realize that that's the biggest core value that we want to deliver, whether it is through our own product and services that we have to offer, or anything that I associate with through brand endorsements that I do. So I think when it comes to values and trust, India is, I think it's been a global leader for years, but it is, it's unfortunate that we have not been able to monetize this core value of India, of values, and the overall, the Eastern philosophy of India. Maybe in some sense, generic yoga has been something which is pretty big as an Indian value. But I think there are many things which we can take to the world, and I'm happy and very happy to see and be part of this event today, that maybe this is the turning point, maybe this is the day when we say that India will be at forefront of many brands, and maybe all of us here collectively would contribute in some meaningful way. That is my hope and desire. Thank you.
As an actress, when I started off, I actually left an ambition to become a marketing professional who could help brands to eventually become one. I did not intend to take this path, it just happened by coincidence. And when I realized that when it comes to being an actress, probably sky is the limit to being a brand yourself, not only in terms of course, the kind of money you can earn, but also being one person who can stand for a lot of things in society, in everything possible, in all spheres of life, I think. So slowly when I started realizing it, I never knew I'm going to build a brand and in the process help another brand. I think I must have done something right to be here today. I honestly didn't expect this to be such an amazing formal gathering, to be sitting next to all of them. I jumped on the opportunity when I got to know that she wants me to unveil Common Woman, because I myself genuinely feel I am a very common woman who can stand for a common woman, being a common woman. So thank you so much. One thing I would like to share about, I don't want to call him late R.K. Lakshman, because he still is there very much around us, and in a lot of ways in the records that we have maintained of his creations. One small memory that I have is when I started reading, and when my parents wanted me to read newspapers and know what is happening around, I used to only find that small little cartoon section to be interesting enough for me to read in the entire newspaper. Nothing else was as fascinating for a small kid at that point. And when I started reading it, I didn't used to understand, of course, the context, and that's how that small little cartoon in the corner helped me know about what's happening in my country and the world, because those were the reasons. I mean, that cartoon was the reason I started asking questions, what is happening, and that's when I used to get to know about the current affairs and everything that used to happen in the country at that point. So that is really special, to be standing here for something new that's coming from the same family. So yeah, here's it, sealing it to become a part of history today. I think I've eventually made myself a brand, I feel today. Thank you.
But this year it has come of age. You know, it was long back, I and Sachin in 2000 discovered licensing. And it has taken us about 15-16 years to bring a show together. We always believe that India has a huge opportunity for not only international IPs to come and unlock here, but also a huge equal bigger opportunity of Indian IPs to unlock for the world. And that was the dream, you know. So it is indeed a pride, and now we have such a great personality, Mr. Padam Shri Sanjeev Kapoor with us. And I genuinely feel that he is a great IP to be unlocked for the world. Right? And similarly, Common Man, Shri R.K. Lakshman ji created an IP which I think we can give it to the world. So this show is special because not only we are trying to bring in world best practices or great IPs which can be unlocked for a market like India, which is a great consumption market. Overall licensing globally contributes about $240 billion. It's just starting to happen. You know, and we partnered with Lima. Lima has been a great sport to us. Thank you for being presiding here. And when we started with Lima many years back, it was very difficult for even to convince people that how licensing works, how do you respect IP, how do we encourage
workshop at the time, and I fell in love with it then, and I haven't fallen out of love with it. So it's wonderful. I've been back a few times. I never get to come here as much as I would like to, but I do enjoy coming here all the time. And what was particularly interesting now in my new role at Lima is to really work with key stakeholders in the industry at large here in India to do two things. One is to obviously promote and develop the licensing community here, and develop best practices in terms of how to run the business and the business of our business. But also one of the things that I'm particularly excited about is really taking the wonderful IP and storytelling and business practices here in India to the global marketplace. I think that's really important for multinational companies to truly understand the value proposition of this wonderful country and invest accordingly. I think what we need to see from these other companies is real investment in the marketplace, because I know that what's changing in retail, as I've seen the last few days that I've been here, is really exciting, and it's only going to get more of it. And certainly the show today, and seeing how brands are being presented and the conversations that are happening, this is truly an emerging market that needs to be paid much more attention to, with much more investment from multinational companies. So I'm absolutely thrilled to be here on behalf of Lima to help make the hard work that everybody's already investing hopefully that much easier, to develop best practices, to create networking opportunities, to share things like databases and things like that. So again, the business of our business is that much easier. You guys are all really, really good at doing your businesses and working hard at that. My job is to make the other part of your business a little bit easier. So I look forward to doing that, and over the rest of today and tomorrow, really spending time with so many of you. So thank you for believing in the licensing industry, and thank you for believing in this show and coming on board, and really just all the hard work and financial commitment as well as human commitment is just really impressive and inspiring. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. You know, it's extremely, again, this word extremely is kind of stuck up in my head right now. It's extremely difficult to speak on stage when you have Tapsee.
Still wide awake, but I've been coming to India for about 20 years on holiday as a tourist, and about 8 years for business. My responsibilities at Viacom Nickelodeon Consumer Products are to manage the emerging markets, and this is from obviously India, Africa, Russia, CIS, Central Eastern Europe. So lots of diverse and very interesting territories. But I must admit, India is unique when it comes to the markets I've worked across. So it's very dynamic. I love the enthusiasm, the passion that I find in India every time I come here. Although the last time I visited was when the currency denomination happened. When I took off from London, my money was worth something. When I landed, it wasn't. So that was something I didn't wish to repeat. And but again, it was a very interesting trip. I never have a dull visit when I come over to India. But for me, the key thing, and I know that a lot we're going to go through more in more detail tomorrow in the Q&A panel, where we've got some specific questions. But for me, India is a market where the growth potential is huge. Viacom as a business, we have our joint venture called Viacom 18 in India, so we have a huge team. We've invested heavily along with Network 18 as the other half of the partnership. So we're here, we've been here for a long time, and we are here for the long term, so this is a key territory for us. Our CEO was on the board and may still be on the board of Viacom 18, and he's recently been promoted to the CEO of Viacom, the parent company. So again, India has a special place for him in his heart as well. And so I think for us, we remain committed. We're always looking for new opportunities here. We see the growth and the dynamic potential of the market. I think there is a long way to go, and there's lots of ways it will develop over time. And but as with all good things, you know, you have to do it in the right way, step by step. And this show is a critical part of that for me. I very much support licensing shows all over the world. Over the last 3 years, I've seen a show get established in Russia, for example, and I think they're very important not only for licensors, for licensees, and everybody who is associated with the business, from retailers and consumers down. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very excited by new opportunities in India. Thank you.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'd call it a day here right now, but the day is full of opportunities, a long day coming ahead. So this is the India Licensing Expo 2017. But before they leave, a very important announcement to everybody from the press, people who are about to hold the media bites. It should not be happening in this room. It'll be happening outside. So could you please head on the other side, right on the other side of that, there's a hall there. We could do the media bites there. And